Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tara and today we are going to be talking about Amanita muscaria, the beautiful red mushroom with white dots on top. It's the mushroom behind Alice in Wonderland and Mario, and it's the emoji on your keyboard for mushroom. You're pretty much seeing it in everything that is related to fairy tales or magic. She really is a beautiful mushroom, but she also has a lot of medicinal and magical properties to her. And so more and more people are getting interested in how they're able to grow this mushroom so that they can have an abundance of it and be able to sell it. But she has a secret. She will not allow anyone to grow her like a traditional crop, like corn or soy or broccoli. She must be foraged from nature, from the forest, and only a healthy forest at that. And that all comes down to one word: mycorrhizal. So there are actually three types of fungi. There's saprophytic fungi, there's parasitic fungi, and there's mycorrhizal fungi. And saprophytic fungi are the ones that you're most likely to have seen in a grocery store. So like portobello mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, button mushrooms, and even any of those supplements that you might have seen advertised, like lion's mane, reishi, chaga. All of those mushrooms are saprophytic mushrooms, and they are able to absorb nutrients, specifically carbohydrates, from wood, decaying matter, or other trees, or even sometimes animals. They absorb all of the nutrients they need from that substrate, and so they're able to be grown. So you can put down a bunch of wood chips, you could put down rice. Those are different ways that you can, or even like a piece of log that people can inoculate, you can grow them off of that. Unfortunately, we also have, or fortunately, mycorrhizal mushrooms, which are the mushrooms that must be foraged, like chanterelles, bolete mushrooms, and of course, Amanita muscaria. So these mushrooms are super interesting and unique because they cannot live by themselves. They actually have to have a relationship with a host species, and it's usually a tree. So for Amanita, that would be something like a pine tree, a birch tree, or even a maple tree. And how mycorrhizal mushrooms work is they make a layer of fungus underground. This is the actual organism. It grows underground until it reaches a root tip. When it finds a root tip from a tree that actually wants to have a relationship with it, it will encase the end of the root tip and then open up little pores to allow for nutrients to pass between the two of them. And this is where the name mycorrhiza comes from: myco meaning fungus and rhiza meaning roots. It's a Greek word. And what's really interesting about this is that it is, my little notepad went down. What's really interesting about this is that this relationship is required for the mushrooms to live. So the trees will create carbohydrates and sugars via photosynthesis, and the mushroom will break down and absorb small nutrients like nitrogen or phosphorus or even water from the environment and give that to the tree. So it really is a beautiful give and take relationship. But if you remove this tree, if you remove the tree from the picture and you just have the mushroom, you're never going to be able to get it to fruit. And this is because the fruit itself, the mushroom itself, is so nutrient intensive, needs so many carbohydrates. It also needs to create a bunch of chemicals like muscimol, which is the main active chemical in Amanita. And to do that, it needs carbohydrates from the tree. And this becomes our next issue, is that even if you put it in a monotub and you gave it everything you want, even if you gave it straight carbohydrates and sugars in the soil, it doesn't know how to absorb it like a saprophytic mushroom. And many people have tried. Many people have, like, especially people who are in the psychedelic industry, who have found out that they can grow psychedelic mushrooms like crazy. Psilocybin mushrooms grow super easily on grain. They'll take Amanita, try to do the same thing, and it keeps failing, and they don't understand what's going on. There is one caveat in that you probably could eventually grow it just like, what are they called? Truffle mushrooms, where they would actually grow the tree in a bath of spores, even in the soil. But the problem with that is that Amanita takes about 10 years to get big enough before it's even going to start fruiting in the first place. So a lot of trials, or any trials that want to go on right now, it's going to take at least 10 years, if not more, for them to even proof of concept. It's possible this is already going on right now, and we will find out about this in 10 to 15 years in the 2030s. But for right now, there is no evidence that shows that Amanita can be grown. And this leads into my last point about Amanita muscaria, which is that she is not just any mushroom. She is actually an entheogen, a spiritual mushroom with her own ideas and plans about what she wants to do on planet Earth. And one of her big reasons to incarnate and to show up for people at this time is because humanity is going through a very large shift right now. We are moving from a world dominated by masculine traits like action and control, competition between people, and we're moving into a world that has a more balanced masculine and feminine, and so the feminine is showing up, and this is a world that would actually have more to do with allowing receptivity and cooperation. And so Amanita is actually a very feminine spirit that wants to bring this energy into planet Earth. And so her main lesson to humans is that we need to learn how to cooperate with one another, just as she connects all of these trees together and allows them to become this cooperative forest family, pretty much. We also need to learn as humans how to cooperate with one another, how to cooperate with nature, and instead of controlling and extracting from nature, she wants to teach us about how to have a relationship with it where we will actually have more abundance. And so, no matter what we do to try to get her to grow, whatever techniques we do, whatever laboratory that we have, we're not going to be able to get around this life path of Amanita. And it's going to be really interesting to see how things hash out in the next 10 years. But this is my theory. This is the information that I've been given by Amanita, and I hope it helps you guys understand a little bit more about this mushroom and what makes her so unique. So if you have ever seen Amanita, if you're interested in this topic, feel free to drop a comment down below and give me a like. And I'll see you in the next video.